Hello everyone, welcome back to Old Fun Gaming Mario Kart!
That's right, back to Mario Kart!
After a Super Mario RPG session where Chris raged.
I won't talk about that. That part's probably on by the time this part comes up.
Well, we're going to show off the Special Cup at 50cc. I went ahead to the character setup ahead of time. Probably not going to change anything for this, just to get through cups. Kind of continue showing off more of this beauty of a game.
Yeah, this game's awesome. I need to get it for my Switch still.
Like,
I don't know why I haven't, but...
Oh, dude,
Right now is not a great time to do it, but yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Drive Bowser.
That's cool, the magma on the
That's
back.
That's really cool. Alright, so I forget what course this was, but I do remember this course.
No, this is it. Oh, this is one of their newer ones.
Newer one, nice.
Yep.
Okay.
We're on the original ones for the Mario Kart 8.
Okay, well, the original, yeah.
Yep, and Waluigi just breakdanced for
Yes, he did. Waluigi.
the tall, skinny drunk, as my mom called him.
That's fair. I'm Waluigi. Guys, I alluded to Mr. Drake last night.
Ah, I've got a red nose. Granted, some of the characters, like animations that they've done with him with like the sports games, are fantastic. Oh, that was a bad decision, but I also couldn't have avoided that if I wanted to.
Well, you could definitely avoid that.
Yeah,
I saw that coming a mile away.
Oh, blue shell.
Blue shell.
I can't avoid this one. Unlike our first episode.
That's true.
Yeah, that one that I completely avoided, and we're like,
How did you do that?
How? I was like, no, I don't know.
Interestingly, Waluigi, other than in like offshoots like this, Mario Kart sports game, has never been in a Mario game.
And also, he hasn't had his own game either.
Nope.
Wario's the only one of those two that's had his own game.
Yeah. And I played a few of those games actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for one reason, Waluigi just, he's literally only there as an extra character for these games. Nintendo has no interest in making the game for him. I think it'd be interesting to make a game for him. Or make him a villain or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I get Wario's not really a villain anymore, but because of Super Mario Land, or Wario Land, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird in terms of, like, you have the comedy with him, but you're not tapping in on that potential of what could be a good game. And it also may come down to pure marketing, like, the interest is not there.
That's also true. That is also true.
Where it's like, right now, like, I know I'm kind of jonesing for it. I want the next Metroid game. Come on! Bring Samus back!
I mean, Metroid Red came out just a year and a half ago.
Yeah, well, like, people have been waiting for, like, Metroid Prime 4 ever since they...
What's that? That's been, what, a decade? That last one came out?
Yeah.
Oh, you're second suddenly.
Well, actually, longer than that. Oh, I completely dodged that. Oh, I saw that one, like, fly over. It's like, oh, nope, I'm getting out of here. I do not want to get hit as a bystander. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption came out in 2007, 2008.
So you're talking 15 years.
Yeah, we've had a nice little... But it's been about 2 to 3 years ever since the announcement of Metroid Prime 4. And I know there was a lot of reorganization with Platinum Studios. And also Platinum working on Bayonetta 3. So I can't give a lot of flack there. And it's also Nintendo. Nintendo's going to make sure before they shut that out, it's going to be good out the door. But I'm kind of waiting for that next first-person Metroid game.
At this point, is that even going to come out on a Switch?
I don't think so. I think if they...
Because they announced it for the Switch.
Yeah, they announced it
many years ago.
Yeah. If it does, it's going to be at the end of its cycle, and it's probably going to be one of the launch titles for the next Nintendo console.
That's fair, because they do like that.
Because it could be that, but kind of like what you and I were talking about. I don't think Nintendo's going to move away from the hybrid of home and console gaming. They have found a niche in the home and mobile gaming because they found a niche in the market with the Switch.
Yep.
The Switch is, I think it's their best-selling console.
If it's not, it's getting real close to the Wii. It's not already there, which I don't know if it is or not. It's close.
Because I know for, like, I had to call ahead to GameStop after I got a yearly bonus before I got my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure, like, hey, I want one, let me know when you have one in. And when I got the phone call that they had one in, I just got my bonus in. Dude, I went there straight after work.
Fair.
Because I was like, I'm getting it. And I got that, I got Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. And that was what I got available at the time.
Oh, for sure.
Then, about like a week later, I got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's when we had a nice virulent strain of the flu basically ripping through the university where I was at, and I was like, well, and I was down for, dude, I was down for like 5 to 6 days. It was bad. I knew some people that were being taken to the hospital with how bad they were doing.
Damn.
Temperature-wise, it was not a good one, and
that's the third blue shell, by the way, of this race.
Yep.
You missed one.
I missed one,
but yeah,
I've gotten 2 of them so far.
But yeah, by the way, the Nintendo Switch is their best-selling mainline console, not including handhelds. Yes, it actually has sold more than the Switch has.
Yeah, but
and the PS2, by the way, is the most ever.
Can I say with how long the PS2 was out? Does that surprise you?
No, but
but
it's only a 6-year life cycle. We're already hitting that with we're almost near that with the current cycles. We're at 4 years.
Yeah.
But also, 2020 didn't even count that. It's one current cycle year. That's number 4.
Yep.
Because of the pandemic, it's hard to really count the first year or 2 of this life cycle for Xbox and PlayStation 5.
Yeah, just because I kind of shut the world down quite a bit.
I'm still convinced that they're either almost done, or that we will not see another Xbox console. They might do one more, but I can't.
Honestly, I think we're going to get to the point with game consoles where it's like gaming computers.
Yeah.
Where you just start buying component upgrades for them, but they're going to just be medium end stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
That's a good Bowser.
I don't know with Metroid Prime 4. I really don't. I'm hoping it comes to the Switch, and I'm hoping they give the life and love that they did with the Metroid Prime with the Metroid Prime Remastered, with Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and that they fix the fucking motion controls and leave it to all like joystick controls and aiming, like what they did with the first 2 Metroid games with Metroid Prime 3 Corruption.
Right.
That's my only problem with Corruption, was the motion control aiming.
Right. It was on the Wii. Or the Wii U.
It was Wii. The one and the other one on the Wii I would like to see ported. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it for how it was stylized, and it was like a nice throwback to older Metroid games. Metroid, Other M. Granted, did I like their voice acting for Samus? No. But some of the finishers that Samus did on Aliens were... It's like, okay, she's a bad bitch. Don't mess with her.
I've seen Other M, I feel like I've been having some data on this. I feel like we talked about this before.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I feel like Other M is like the black sheep of the Metroid family. I have very rarely heard anyone that's a Metroid fan talk good about it. Very rarely.
Because most people like Super like the earliest memories of most people are Super Metroid. And for a Metroid platformer, they look at Super Metroid as like the pinnacle of the Metroid series. I think Super Metroid is a nice start, and there was a lot of like the Game Boy Advance Metroid games that emulated that quite well. But I think Prime did something very different that made it.
Oh yeah.
Gave it that life that it needed, because this is where I like Nintendo versus other developers. Nintendo is not afraid to take the developmental risks. Mm-hmm. And you see that with Dread.
Yeah. Now, that's a very kind of almost ironic statement, because there's also, like, with the Mario franchise, they often get criticized for not taking enough risks, because it's very cut and paste, and I mean, even Wonder, to some extent, you can even say that with, although I think Wonder's a fantastic game.
I think Wonder has some departures that was very needed for the franchise.
Yeah, but a lot of times they would be criticized, especially when New Super Mario Bros. U came out, which I'm very indifferent to.
It's
3D World, kind of the same thing, but also, and then even like Zelda, especially up until Tear of Breath of the Wild. Lately, they've been taking a lot more chances, or risk, if you will. But
well, and I think it's
they completely revamped the Zelda series.
Yeah, like, but it's with Metroid. Metroid Prime shows the promise of what Nintendo, with an outside developer, what they can do.
Yeah.
And even more so with the Bayonetta series. Mm-hmm. Like, Bayonetta is one, next to Devil May Cry, is one of my favorite hack and slash games. Mm-hmm. And the Switch handles it beautifully.
It became Switch exclusive too.
Oh yeah. It became a Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah, Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah. Which is interesting to think about.
I know, of all the game series.
Of all of them. You get Bayonetta.
Bayonetta would not have been one that was on my radar.
Well, I started laughing, but it's like, I also know like how Platinum makes their games. Mm-hmm. Because I'm playing another Platinum game right now called Vanquish. Which is a action shooter. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely ridiculous. But like, I'm only like 5-6 hours in, and it's a small, digestible action shooter game. Most little like chapter sections in each act lasts like 5 minutes. Lasts about 5 minutes. So I'm like, I don't have a lot of time sunk into the game, and it plays really well. Like, that's like not the beat the dead horse or anything. Like, that's like where my draw is. Like, I want the games that play well. I don't care about game length as long as it plays well. But when you start having broken issues, or issues where the game is starting to break,
yeah,
that's where I have a problem. That is where I have a major problem with your game. But yeah, I'm really jonesing for Metroid Prime 4. I really want to see that come out here soon. Because you can pretty much guarantee I'm taking a week of vacation off. No one's going to hear from me at all.
Fair.
They're going to think I died.
My question.
Yeah.
Was Dread the first Metroid game since Other M?
Yes, it was.
That was okay.
No, actually, you had Metroid Prime Hunters on the 3DS, and that.
Okay.
You had that fucking bombed, and you had. It was Metroid Samus Returns, which is basically another copy paste clone of Super Metroid. It's been a while since we've had a new, like, quote unquote entry for the series.
Well, Dread obviously is
yeah.
I think Dread is based off the mainline Super Metroid.
Yeah.
2D, at least in the 2D, not in 3D, but the 2D aspect. I would say that's an entry, and it still was like 10 years.
Yeah, it's like Metroid doesn't get the love that it should, and
It's never been one of their most. The thing about it is,
it's a very
of their prime 4 or 5 main series. You know, your Mario, Zelda, Metroid. You can kind of include Star Fox in that, but I probably wouldn't at this point.
No, Star Fox. I think
F-Zero's the same way. Metroid fans think they have it bad.
Hey, F-Zero's cool. Anyone F-Zero fan? Are you hurt right now that it's been over about 2 decades since the last game released?
So, my point was if Dread would have failed,
I think that would have been the final nail.
that would have been a Metroid. But since it did so well, and not just for Metroid standards well, in general well, I think that's going to give you Prime 4 sooner than later. I don't know when it's going to be.
I think if Dread would have failed after the bombing of the bombing sales of Metroid Prime Hunters on the 3DS, I think that would have been the final nail in the coffin for the Metroid franchise. I think they would have just done some remasters here and there, kind of see if this interest is still there, but I don't think they would have done anything new.
Yeah.
Because Dread was such a risk.
It was.
But that risk paid off.
It did. And people, and we're already approaching, I think, damn near 2 years on it.
Yeah, since it launched.
So, we're already okay, why has there been... And that's what's confusing me with it. There has been nothing on Prime 4 in
almost about 5 years.
In forever, since the Nintendo Direct, I think it was. And I think that would make me nervous.
That's what's making me nervous, too, is that there's not... Hey!
Triforce tires.
Yeah! They don't really add much to this Kart loadout. That will be it for this cup for Mario Kart Rainbow Cup. I know we didn't talk much about the graphics and stuff. We just got talking on other things.
It's Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's Mario Kart.
It's Mario. You've seen Mario Kart. You've watched Mario Kart. There's not a whole lot more we're gonna add to this, except our opinions on other shit. This is what the Mario Kart series is probably going to be.
It's kind of us just shooting the crap, and with 50cc, I can passively talk and drive. Once we start getting to the higher difficulties, I'm not going to promise anything. I'm probably going to rage at some of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
especially when we get 150 and 200.
Yeah, 200 can go suck a dick.
But that will, like you said, that will do it. So join us for the next cup, whenever that might be.
Until then, see ya.